Okay, we are going into game number 3 for this ladder qualifier match versus between Sempu and Sedgehun. So we got Sedgehun over on the left hand side is player 1. They're going to be playing Sedge. Ooh. So they're getting to play their favorite commander. And Sempu playing Vesper, who is very good on this map. I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out. I actually feel like this is just a really strong matchup for Vesper, in my opinion. Kind of just shut down the game before it starts for Sedge. Ooh, nice aggressive play coming out here from Sempu. You do have a bunch of choices on both sides of like, do you go for the knockdown? Do you go for village capture instead? And the follow-up to this as well is like, do you play aggressive like Sedge is doing right here? And Sempu actually captured that village on the side where you can't really be as aggressive, so... Ooh, Sedgehun might be in a bit of trouble here though. It has to probably heal from this village. Yeah, they're gonna heal. But they did get a nice hit in, so... That's gonna be a little bit of a chunk of groove for them. And oh wow, now we see the aggression on this side. Sempu, yeah, they're gonna have to walk back and heal. And that's something they would have had to have done anyway, but... Nice sword crit coming in there. Yeah, we got that dog coming in too. Oh, wow, that's some really heavy aggression coming in. Are we going to see no air? Normally when you go for your opponent's mage, like air is typically like the kind of thing that would come out, but in this case, that's not the case, I guess I would say. And Sempu, yeah, just backs up. They're like, yeah, I've got a bit of a lead as far as groove goes, so I'm not going to worry about dealing with... Oh, I might have actually been able to kill. That's rather unfortunate. Oh, and now we see the dragon come out. Anyway, there's a second mage back here, and ooh, actually there's like no villages to heal from, so... Yeah, this mage is kind of just going to be busted for the moment. Just has to walk back. Alright, what are we going to see? Vesper builds a lot of groove there. So she's looking pretty good right now. And what can Sedge do? I mean, Sedge is looking like way out of position. Just kind of retreated. I didn't get much of like a real advantage for doing so. Okay, so yeah, they're just gonna keep going for these trades. The dog's actually pretty safe in that tile. Like Vesper can't really do much to it. That said, sword crits exist, so that's pretty good. But this dragon forced these units down here to retreat. You know, you have to get these mages up. You got to get like a witch up apparently. Sempu really committing to this anti-dragon play. But building a dragon is actually a big commitment, so... Yeah, just both players being like, yeah, you know, I have this idea, I'm going to run with it. Or in the case of Sedge, it's like, yeah, you know, I've got this dragon. And in the case of Sempu, it's like, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of anti-air to deal with it. These double knights, actually. I'm interested to see what these are going to do. Especially given the fact that we now have Vesper up. With groove on turn 9. Which is very significant because, yeah, that's like a very early slow charge groove to get. And there's a bunch of heavy hitting units that could potentially go in either one shot or just deal a lot of damage. And then suddenly you've got a Vesper groove, you've got smoke. And like going for like a hit on the dragon, for example, gets like you a nice chunk of gold. And then you're able to make it safe. And that might actually be what we try and see here. Vesper. Oh, actually doesn't go for Groove. It's just going to accept that they got a nice min roll, actually. That's a rather unfortunate. Because that's a pretty significant gold difference getting the min roll. Looking like, what, 75 golds? Less than like an average roll. So, yeah, Sedgehun's actually going to be able to kind of walk back. Not have to worry about that one too much. Yeah, you just throw a mage in. Gets the kill. And now Sedge has their own witch. But the interesting thing here is that actually Sempu has an archer. And this map is like archer heaven. Because there's so many choke points that you want to fill. And yeah, like archers do very well because you can just get a lot of indirect damage. It's very easy to keep an archer safe on this map. Oh, that smoke shroud is going to be very good. Sempu able to get a lot of damage in on this turn. And Sedgehun is not able to get good counter attack damage. I'm actually very surprised Sedge didn't try and go for a kill there. But there is a dragon up, so yeah, I guess yeah, I can see that being a big factor. And it just backs up, and yeah, Sedge is not looking so good. Quite a bit behind on Groove. Like one kill will get them up to it, but they're a bit behind. They only just built their first archer, and now we've got Sempu's archer really getting its value. And Sempu's actually able to just keep pushing forwards. Nice use of the wagon. Brings Vesper forwards. And just like a really nice chunk of damage onto Sedge, who now has just an entire enemy army barreling down on him. Ooh, just throws in the swords, I guess. Why not? And yeah, we've just got an injured Sedge. Kind of sitting back here. Yeah, it has to drop a mage heal. Even drops a hex just to get that little bit of extra damage. Doesn't want to let Vesper kind of walk forwards for free. Yeah, Vesper actually has the opportunity to like potentially kill Sedge. No, it goes for a dog instead. And yeah, we're just going to see a whole bunch of damage come down this army. Oh, just even more damage coming down Sedge, who doesn't have Groove. Sempu calculating that fairly well. Even after all this, the hits on the enemy commander, like Sempu's going to be safe from Sedge just kind of going for a big Groove. And, you know, that's the one thing. Like, if you overextend with your army, Sedge can just activate blender mode and deal tons of damage. Oh, that's a huge hex. Sedge gets a kill. It's gonna have Groove. Ooh, big crit on that dragon. And there we see the damage coming in. And these archers, this is why archers are so good on this map. They do a lot of damage. Able to get a ton of value here. Ooh, even picks up a kill on that knight. And yeah, Sempu lost a lot that turn. Imagine if Sedge had Groove on top of that, like the damage potential would have been even greater. But while this is going on, Sempu is taking the map. Able to take a lot of this south side while also holding a reasonable amount of this north side. And is actually going to be able to back up. So Vesper is going to be able to, you know, go back into this wagon or just even walk back. Wagon. Oh, gets to use the wall. Very nice. And now the question is, what next? What's going to happen? We're going to see, ooh, a nice archer hit here. And just, ooh, more juicy targets for Sedge to groove. Wagon goes down. Are we going to see Mage goes down? Oof. And yeah, this is the place Sedge likes to be. Sedge likes to be in a big brawl between all the different units. And just able to pick up so many kills. Oh, even gets the heal. And I think Sedge can actually just kill an extra unit. Decides to back up though. Makes sense. I guess you just don't want to be in range of like a Vesper or something. Okay, that was a lot of damage. Sempu's actually going to go in? Okay. I mean, yeah, you've got a couple knights to work with, so I can respect it. And then comes the question, can Sedge keep up the groove damage? Vesper is not going to get a groove again for a little while. I do feel like Sedge actually maybe could have gotten an extra hit there. And that would have opened up more opportunities. Okay, we're going to see a groove come up. Potentially going to kill both of these knights, actually. Oh, that was... I think if that knight had just done like a little bit more, Sedge could have grooved, but it's fine. And yeah, Sedge is just going to continue to build knights, gets an extra dog. And Sempu has the economy lead at this point, so there's all these units over in the corners doing a lot of work. Has more of the center as well. So Sedge is definitely going to be way more efficient in terms of like army trades right now. That being said, Sempu just has more economy to play with. Timer is running low though, and that's going to be a problem. Vesper is coming up to a second groove, so this is actually, there's just like a lot of factors right now. And Sedgehun actually remembers to keep up like economic pressure. It's very important. You don't want to just like focus on just killing your opponent's army. You do need to continue to keep going for village captures, go for these knockdowns. Because if you don't, then you can just fall behind. And ooh, we're seeing damage come down on Sedge. Is that like an attempt at a surround? I don't think there is a surround though. I do think Sedge can escape here. It's going to be a tough one. I'm actually really unsure. All these units over on this top side doing a lot of work. They're out of the fight, but they're really putting on economic pressure. Wow, I'm looking at this timer. Sedge is not looking so good right now. I think they're both like running low. The one thing they have going for them though is because there was so much fighting earlier, like the unit counts are pretty low right now. Ooh, finds a knight crit, that's unfortunate. Archer comes in. Ooh, even gets the hit with Vesper onto Sedge. And yeah, that big mage shield, really important. I was almost expecting a second one to come in. Because yeah, like Sedge really wants to have more groove targets and there just isn't any at the moment. Although, ooh, that archer could hit that knight. Yeah, Sempu just really pushing this economy advantage right now. And even in this top side, yeah, just really forcing Sedge's hands. Alright, we get a sword pick up. But there's knights behind this and a dragon. Oh, I don't know. This is looking really rough. And the timer has gone down to 2 minutes. I don't know if this can work out. Are we going to try and see like a lethal attempt? Potentially, but I don't think it's going to work out. First dog. Oh, second dog. Yeah, that's not nearly enough. And I think that's going to be it. Potentially that could have worked if everything high rolled, but No, unfortunately not the case. Alright, we see this Hex come in. We see the Archer crit come in. Knight's gonna go down, and yeah, like, we've got these extra knights to work with. Big mage shield, Vesper gets the kill. And then what was actually coming kind of close to time, Sempu takes it over Sedgehun in a game where you really saw the advantage of like focusing on economy. Like Sempu pushed in hard, but the big important thing about that push was that there was economic damage happening on the sides, and Sempu was able to just continually push that. Because like, we're gonna take a look at these stats, and they're gonna tell a lot of this story here. I'm just gonna double check and see if that was. Oh, there we go. I believe that's up to date now. And the group chart is as well. Okay. So we take a look at this army value. Vesper just has a big lead. I believe that was the turn the groove is used. Yeah, turn 12, Vesper does the groove, and that's where Vesper really shines. Like Vesper gets a big lead that turn. Army can't be countered. And yeah, things are just looking really good. And then Sedge gets groove a couple turns later and kind of starts to even things up again. But in terms of army value, but there is such a disparity in unit count. Like that's so big. 23 against, what's that, like 15, I think? Yeah, so 16. So like 23 to 16, looking really rough at that point in the game. And you know, Sedge starts to kind of bring it back a little bit. You kind of like, it starts to get a little bit closer once Groove comes out. But by this point, like Sedge had a little bit of economy advantage, and then that just really like went out the window because the big push from Vesper came in, and then just this focus on like keeping the economic leads. 1300 to what is that, like 800 at the end? And that's like the difference between like you can buy like knights every turn. You could buy a knight every turn plus another cheap unit. And then you can save and buy like a dragon on a turn as well. And that was like a huge difference. And that's the difference between like Sedgehun, who was just like building like an archer and a dog or something along those lines. So really nicely played by Sempu. Vesper showing once again that Vesper is incredibly strong and difficult to deal with. Obviously, you know, there is counterplay. There are commanders that do very well in this matchup, but on this map, I think Vesper is just incredibly powerful. And Sempu is there to show us. And that's Sempu going through to Groove of War 8. They qualify along with a few other people. We don't actually have replays from the other people. I should have made that a requirement, I think. But I did not, so yeah, that's the replay set that we're gonna get so far for the qualifiers. And honestly, really fun game. A whole bunch of really fun games, really nice set between these two. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in Groove of War 8, which will be taking place in July of this year. So we got a few months until then. 2 more opportunities to qualify through ladder as well. This is the first of 3 ladder qualifiers that we will be running. 4 players from every qualifier. And the first one, obviously, you get the best seeding if you qualify through the first one. But still plenty of opportunities to qualify, so we're going to be seeing more from Sedgehun, I believe, and more from a lot of other players who failed to qualify this time around. But anyway, that's us for this broadcast.